This is question number 28 on the June 2015 calculator paper. Okay, so first of all, looking at this question, I could see that it says on the grid, construct the graph of x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. I recognize that straight away as the equation of a circle, and you should too. Because the equation of a circle looks like this: x squared plus y squared plus r squared. And if it's of that form, that means the circle goes through, or it's centered the origin, 0, 0, and it has radius r. So for a circle like this, the center is 0, 0, and the radius is r. Okay, so in our circle, which is this question here, the center is going to be 0, 0, and the radius is going to be 4. Why? Because 16 is 4 squared. Okay. As a result, I need to get my compass, place my compass at the center of the circle. So that's where my center is going to be. The radius is 4, so adjust your compass so that it goes through 4. Check that it goes through 4 on all the axes, just to make sure that you don't need to make any adjustments, and then draw your circle. Make sure your compass is tight and is working fine. If it isn't, ask for another, but there is 2 marks worth. Pretty straightforward, right? You should be able to do this. Let's look at part B. In part B, it says find estimates for the solutions for those simultaneous equations. So they want estimates, they don't want the actual answer. And from looking at this, you could see that x squared plus y squared is equal to 16 is the circle we drew in part A. Y is equal to 2x plus 1. That is going to be a straight line graph, right? So that is a straight line. And remember, straight lines, their general form is y is equal to mx plus c. M is the gradient, and c is the intercept on the y-axis. Okay, so it's the point where they cut the y-axis. That's where c is. So in our case, c is 1, positive 1. Here it is. And the gradient is 2. That means for every 1 unit you go across, you need to go up 2. So I'm going to actually try to use that to draw my graph. In fact, that is what exactly you need to do in order to draw the graph of that straight line. We're going to see where the straight line cuts the circle, and we'll use those points to solve it, to give our answers. So first of all, I know that the intercept is 1. There it is, positive 1. And that's this point here. The graph of the straight line will go through that particular point. I know it has a gradient of 2. So that means that for every 1 unit it goes across, it needs to go 2 up. So remember, this is 1 here. I'm going to start at the intercept, go across 1, and I need to go upwards 2. So that's 1 there. So 1, 2. I'm using the same scale. Okay, so my line is going to go through those 2 points, and that's all I really need to draw a line. I'll line those points up properly. I need to be as accurate as possible because I'm making an estimate. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And my 2 solutions are going to be up here. This particular one. Here's my x value. And the corresponding y value. and the other intercept, or the point where they meet, is there. And let's work out the corresponding x and y values. Okay, you have to try to be as accurate as possible, right? But from the point of view of the graph, and then read off those values. So I'm going to just take them off here and write them down before I make a note of them below in the answer space. So that's an x value. If that's 1 there, they're 5 tiny squares. That means each one is going up in 0.2s. So that's 1.2, 1.4. And that particular y value, that's on the y-axis, that's going to be 3 there. So 3.1, 3.2 even, 3.2, 3.4, 3.6, 3.8, 3.8. As I said, read the scale very carefully. The 5 tiny squares, they're going up in 0.2s. So that is one of the solutions that I'm going to write into the answer space. I'll write that in straight away. When x is equal to 1.4, y is 3.8. So that's one of the solutions. Let's look at the other one. When x over here is, that's 2, and it's 1 square long, so that's 2.2. And then this y value here, that there is minus 3, minus 3.2, minus 3.4, minus 3.4. So read that off, and that's what we're going to put into our answer space. So there are 2 solutions. They want the x and y values of both of them, and that's something you should know and should be familiar with. So when I have x is minus 2.2, y is minus 3.4. So going back to the graph, and if I zoom in so you can see it all, okay, there are all the solutions. There's the graph of the circle, the straight line graph. The straight line is y is equal to 2x plus 1. My circle is x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. Okay. Do study this carefully. Make sure you do understand it. Make sure you are able to find the solutions. And if you get anything similar to this, that you are able to do it and get all the marks in it.